The scent of decay still clings to my cloak, a chilling reminder of the vibrant Whisperwood I once called home. They say I'm a hero, one of the few chosen to venture out, to seek a cure for the blight that has turned our sanctuary into a haunted husk. Hero! The word tastes like ash in my mouth. Truth is, I'm just a scared gnome who's better at talking to badgers than battling ancient evils. My name is Flickerwick Thistlefoot, and I was born under the emerald canopy of the Whisperwood. We gnomes were the keepers of the Heartspring, a grove of unimaginable beauty and power, a place where the veil between our world and the Feywild shimmered like a heat haze. I was raised to be a guardian, a druid, trained to harness the Heartspring's magic and protect its delicate balance. From a young age, I could coax life from barren soil, feel the pulse of the forest in my veins, and understand the chittering secrets of the squirrels. My animal companion, Burrow, a badger as old and wise as the forest itself, has been my constant companion since I was a child. We explored every nook and cranny of the Whisperwood together, two misfits finding solace in the rustling leaves. But the rigid traditions of the Whisperwood druids chafed at me like a rough-spun tunic. Elder Beryl, our stern and unyielding leader, saw my curiosity as a flaw, my improvisational magic as a dangerous deviation from the ancient ways. I yearned to explore, to experiment, to find my own path, not one laid out centuries ago by gnomes I'd never met. The other druid apprentices followed the rules without question, but I always felt like a sapling trying to grow sideways in a forest of towering, unbending oaks. Burrow, bless his furry heart, never judged my rebellious spirit. He understood the turmoil within me. I spent countless hours lost in the Whisperwood's embrace, away from the judging eyes of the elders. I whispered secrets to the ancient trees, learned the language of the wind, and practiced my magic in hidden glades. I was particularly drawn to a new form of nature magic, one that felt wilder, more potent than what we were taught. It was near the Heartspring itself that I experimented, drawn to its raw power like a moth to a flickering flame. Then came the blight. It crept in slowly at first, a subtle wrongness. Leaves withered on the branch, flowers refused to bloom, and a strange silence fell over the forest. The animals grew restless, their eyes wide with a primal fear. Then the growths appeared, twisting, pulsating things that erupted from flesh and bark alike. The blight had found its way to the druids. My heart hammered in my chest as I watched them fall, one by one, into a death-like slumber. Their faces, once filled with life and wisdom, were now contorted in silent screams, their bodies marred by the same ghastly growths that plagued the forest. Even Elder Beryl, the strongest of us all, succumbed, his face pale and drawn, a single, thorny vine wrapped around his still chest. The Heartspring began to dim. Panic seized the Whisperwood. The few of us who remained healthy were left to face a horror we didn't understand. And then they turned to me, the rebellious apprentice, the one who questioned everything. They tasked me with finding a cure, armed me with a withered leaf from the Heartspring, a cruel reminder of its fading power, and a map marked with the locations of other druidic circles. "You are our last hope, Flickerwick," they croaked, their voices weak and raspy. Hope, another word that felt hollow. A part of me, the cowardly part I tried to bury deep, wanted to run, to flee the Whisperwood and never look back. The blight terrified me, and the thought of facing it alone, of failing, was a cold knot in my stomach. How could I, a gnome who couldn't even follow simple instructions, save an entire forest? I confided in Burrow of my worries, and he just nuzzled me and gave a small chuff, as if to say, "We can do this." But then I looked at the faces of my fallen kin, at the dying Heartspring, and I knew I couldn't abandon them. I had to try for them, for the Whisperwood, and maybe, just maybe, for myself. So I took the withered leaf, the map, and a pouch full of seeds from the rare moon petal flowers that grew only in the Heartspring. A desperate, foolish hope, perhaps. With Burrow by my side, I set out. I carry with me more than just the weight of my task. I carry the secret fear that I, in my reckless experimentation, might have somehow weakened the Heartspring, making it vulnerable to the blight. It's a burden I share with no one, not even Burrow. Now I wander, a reluctant hero with a forced smile and a heart full of dread. I tell myself I'm searching for a cure, for a way to save my home. But sometimes in the dead of night, when the wind whispers through the trees, I wonder if I'm also searching for a way to forgive myself. The blight has taken so much from the Whisperwood. I pray it hasn't taken my soul as well. I pray that one day the vibrant green of my home will return and replace the decaying brown that has infected everything. I pray I am strong enough